Oh, sorry, sorry.
Thank you. How are you?
Happy to see you.
These days we are not hugging.
No, it's okay.
Happy to have you.
Happy to see you too.
Thank you. How is here?
She's going to welcome you officially.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you? They are doing like this these days. Aileen who? Choyagala.
Yes, I'm on time doing from Valentine.
You are doing what?
I'm on time here at 8.
Yes.
Yeah,
But what do you study?
Yeah, at 8.
And no.
Me, as Bachelor of Information Technology. I'm a student of Marine University of Science and Technology.
Oh,
Yes.
good. Good.
Yeah, I want to welcome you and
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to have you here.
Wow. This is lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you. On behalf of her and all of you, I will receive it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So much. So we
How is it?
So we are fine. Good. We are excited to observe this. You are our inspiration.
Thank you.
Yeah, so observe this and you represent us.
Thank you.
If you meet the president and I have met you, then I have met the president as well.
And if you are
So we can first take a picture from here before we wait before. Yes, so this is the moment we have all been waiting for. And not because of who we are, but because of the gentleman we are hosting today. From humble beginnings to an international digital media influencer, brand ambassador, and stuff like that. So we want to give him a lot of time, and we want to make sure that at least we capture whatever he's going to tell us. I just want first to warn you, today you're going to laugh, because the person we have here carries so many shoes. The guy can be a comedian, can be a musician, is so many things, so prepare yourself. But at least make sure, so at least make sure you're prepared. I don't want you to be cold and wear. At the end of the day, you're going to laugh, maybe you're going to cry, maybe you're going to be excited, maybe you're going to be inspired. But just make sure you understand what will happen here. At the end of this session, some of you might be challenged, some of you might be motivated, or some of you will be annoyed, or some of you will cry or you will be happy, but at least you're going to fall in any of the categories I've mentioned. But that's not our intention. Our intention is to make sure maybe you leave this place a changed person. My friend and my colleague, MC Kachaina, Muhereza, Valentine, these are students from different universities. Let me see students from Muhereza University of Science and Technology. Where are you? Let's have some energy, some energy. Yes, we are going to some sodas and we might give you sodas based on the energy you exhibit. Some students from MAST. Bishop Stewart University, one of us is here today. Bishop Stewart University. Guys. University of St. Joseph Mbarara. Metropolitan International University, Mbarara campus. Mbarara Institute for Social Development. Anyone from that institute? Don't be shy. There must be someone. Cavendish University. The one and only. Today you're only, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. So these students pursuing computing-related programs as well as media or journalism. Anyone who does not fall in that category, but we also have those who are not necessarily students, but they really want to hear from you. They have been following you, they appreciate your story, and they're here to really be inspired. So we expect nothing but inspiration, motivation, mentorship, but also some connections. Yeah, so since you have met a very big person we admire big, probably we also expect to receive some blessings. So by the time you leave this place, at least make sure you bless us. But we need to understand the person we are hosting here today. And I don't know him very well, but one of us understand the person we have here. And I'm going to invite that gentleman who has been following Muhereza Valentine since he was born up to this stage. I do not know how old that gentleman is, but according to what he told me, he has been following you since the days of Manyogaseka up to up to this day when we have you here. So maybe when he tells us how he has followed you, he should tell us how old he is. So you're most welcome. Come here and tell us more about the gentleman.
Thank you for that opportunity. My name is Chelsea. I'm a student class, and we're pleased to have you. So, who is Kachina? Kachina, full name is Valentine Muhereza. Valentine Muhereza, sorry. His stage name is Kachina, as you all know. Then he was born on Valentine's Day, 14th, 1980. His place of birth, Asada district, Uganda, Shema. He's a Ugandan. And his occupation is a comedian, an actor, an inspiration, and a musician, presenter also. So Katrina grew up in a humble family and is a fourth of the 10 children. Financial challenges, as you all know, interrupted his education from all level.
And inspired most of us, and it's a true inspiration to the rest of the world. So he began his entertainment career in the early 2000s, and he was a karaoke comedian performing in bars, clubs, before becoming one of the most recognized comedians in Western Uganda. So he has also worked with TV and radio stations, especially TV West and Radio West presenter, and he's an inspiration again. So he has songs, Mukama na Yamba, Okushoma, Nibebaska. So in 2004, Kachaina celebrated about 2 decades in comedy by organizing his first show in Imbarara. So thus, he also experienced the desire to mentor young people through the media and skill training. Currently, he's an ambassador at Victoria University, and also a student pursuing his master's in diplomacy in global studies at Victoria University. So, without more explanation, I give him the chance. Okay, we shall give him the chance to do this. Thank you for the time.
Yes, thank you so much, Chelsea. Unfortunately, he didn't tell us how old he is, since he has been following Kachaina for all these years. But to bring context to what we talked about, I'm going to put one or two videos that will help us understand this journey very well before we invite So he talked about the reverse cast, so I want us to watch this video and see the message that is in reverse cast. Did senior 6 probably at the age where most of your parents were working, but he was in senior 6 at that time. But then what followed? This is what happened after becoming one of the global brands in different fields, health, whatever.
It's at another notch.
This is one
Thank you, WHO, for making us shine. I'm told this conference is already seen by everybody in this country. It's because of the ideas that came from the Global TB team. It's because of you, Kachina, who is marketing us very, very well. Thank you. Those who are on Twitter, thank you. We need to make the space talk TB. Someone said we need to use the digital space. And I think this conference you have demonstrated that the digital space is key in engaging with the communities. So let's continue to engage the digital space, to make use of the digital space to market and
team up, win the TB game now.
What you have seen, from what you have seen up to what we have now. So I want to take this opportunity once again, MC Kachina, to welcome you to speak to the audience we have today. And as you come, I'm going to be setting up your presentation. I had PDF, but have given me the PowerPoint. You have such an amazing team that works behind the doors. So you're most welcome. You can take the floor and address the audience.
Nelson Mandela said that when you speak to people in English, they will put the message into their heads. But if you speak to them in their native language, they will put the message into their hearts. Now your homework is to know what is the difference between when the message is put in the head and when the message is put in the heart. My name is Valentine Muhereza, Kachina. I want to greet you all. Mukama simu. Mukama na bakunda. Uruhanga hakwihire na yakusya. You have not died. Maybe you have challenges. Maybe you are born alone. You are almost kneeling down to your parents to ask for another child. You are facing things that we really don't know, but we know. But the moment that you can breathe, and your friends, some of them stopped in nursery, others in secondary, others at O level, A level, but for you, you have reached at least at university level. For all those blessings, and as a person who did literature, let me teach you this. When I say anything I speak, you just say ma. You are going to see how God is lovely with the letter M-A. So pamparampa. Twena tujya bwemba bazamuka manya wamukama tuwe bishuba n'wamazi nono wakwa n'orugama stininga kavanda sininga BSU kunkota kunda muka nunka kachaina bande nimpura wanta ekintu ekyo ntubasa kuleta nakuzu ningo muno nakwe kogamba munjo wamuka noni nkwesi zampo na nje namigambira tiata ninga ma utumor wichiringo gozo minecho ma kitereye semu ngaro zamani. As the moderator said, you are going to enjoy Kasavu Kachi? Yes. So my name is Valentine Muhereza, Kachaina. First and foremost, I'm just happy to be invited to speak to you, but two, the way you have welcomed me. Please, about a yitab, may we clap for them, including me. Because I have never been welcomed like today. Because you have seen my struggles, so they welcome me like that from where? Because if I tell you the challenges I found when I went to Dar es Salaam, you will just get something to learn, but you have to know that these are just closes, but we have suffered. And my presentation is not going to be directed like it is here. This one is going to help you. Because recently I was in BSU, then after presenting on culture, everyone was yearning for a document in a PDF or in a word form. Radios, TVs wanted to teach other people using the same message, but I had run away with the document, so I learned it also, that every time I go elsewhere, I have to make sure I leave some work for them, to those who are interested. So I want to thank you, but also, I want to thank, now, I will be honest, students from MUST, where are you? They clap for you. Before I talk about other universities. Now for us, we grew up when they were saying MUST is a science institution. Eh? So for us, the artists, me though I'm talented, I may be somehow a celebrity, but I used to fear what? MUST. Hey, I'm a science. So now that MUST students can also accept to join other students to listen to Kachaina, but also I want to welcome our friends from St. Joseph's. Where are you? St. Joseph's. Tubachiri. Good. Kavandas University. The name itself, it is international. Kavandas. Then we have Bishop Stuart University that mentored me. Thank you so much. I was the first student to report. I first went to BSU and asked for was it? Industrial design. No, there is something that had art.
Industrial design.
No, it was not not there. Then I asked for journalism. They said for it is there registered, but we have never gotten any single student. So I said, you start with me. I was the first student at BSU to be reported to offer to take that course. Until when they joined BSU, at the end we were around 65. We were taught by a senior lecturer called Ben Bera. Ben Bera, who was beaten by Amin because of two things that I really want you to note. And as I've said, I am going to speak, we are going to laugh. It's upon you to start picking. Because those things, we do them in seminars. I can come here and explain everything. And you say, umwana ine data. Yes. So I'm coming here, but you first listen. So, part of my history, you have seen it. I don't want to repeat what other people have been receiving, unless when you really say we want to know from your early age up to up. But here, according to what I've seen, even in my song, Nevaska, you can see. But briefly, I'm Muhereza Valentine. I'm born in Shema district. I want to thank my friend. Stand up, come here. Yes, someone to sacrifice time to study about you. We used to study about white people, but now people are studying us. So Mutero Mungaru. Thank you so much. And now before you go and study why Garvin are called Garvin. So Garvin is Kazitaro in Uganda. But even few people who got to know them first, Bakamba Zetevera Wudi. Bataku Yetachi, Garvin. So the first lecturer to come to Makerere was called Professor Ruvini. As a Kanazwari Jirachi. But I want to understand how many people do understand Unyankori. One Nyankori. Good. How many people do not understand Unyankori? Good. Yes. Now, Professor Wind used to put on glasses. So another person who was one of the first students in Makerere, was coming from Ibanda. So when he came back to Ibanda, he found another person putting on what? Eberahuri. They were very, very huge. So he said, niwe nozwara agarahuri nkaga Ruvindi. Uriya Professor Ruvindi. So since then, it was called Garvindi. Go and sit. Happy to have you. Okay. So, I was born in Shema, 1980, 14th Feb. Now you would ask yourself, in 1980, how could my parents know that 14th Feb is a Valentine's Day? So, lucky enough, my dad was a DJ. Yes, my dad was a DJ of record player and Gigabox. So at least he had some light. My dad died like, I think around COVID. When we were in Mubende, my dad was called John Nchwanga. He was the first person to be born in Nchwanga Hospital, Ishaka. So they called me Valentine. I studied up to P3 in Kababi's primary school. Then we shifted from Shema to Mubende, where I studied one term at Indeba Primary, and I became first. So they started telling my dad that they can bewitch me. That person is winning. He's winning those people, our people. They are going to bewitch him. So my dad, because by then we all had less education, so he said, I don't want to lose my son. He put me out of what? Of school. That is the very first reason why I lost chances of studying. But two, it teaches us about discipline. My brother was studying in Kagamba Technical. My elder brother is called Kwasibwe Evaristo, but now he calls himself Ezra. So he was studying in a technical school in Kagamba. My mom is from Kagamba and Tungam. So he was staying there and studying from there. So he was a storekeeper. So thieves came and stole the keys from my brother. Then they stole all institutional property. Iranda, Manyemsimeni, or Hama and what. So my dad was forced to pay those things for more than like 7 years. But my brother stayed there, studied, finished. He was the first, I think he was one of the best in the country. But immediately after finishing, he went to Kampala and started betting. So you imagine your parent has sacrificed everything. They have sold land, they have sold what? But he could not even get a door made by my brother, who was the best in the country. So that was another second reason why he was saying, nimumukozerechi, muntamire. So from 1991, over how many are here that we are there, I really don't know. My uncle called Rugumayo Fenhans. I want to show you how just a single network or a single commodity or a single introduction can change your life. So my uncle Rugumayo Fenhans gave me a book of Ebyevugo. Ebyevugo ni mbimanya? Do you know them in English? Do you know how we call them in English? Yes? Wanji? So in English, Ebyevugo, we call them, Okwevuga, we call it recitation. You will go and Google about it. Recitation, Okwevuga. Now me, I know more than 100 Ebyevugo in my head. And I know even what we call recitation in Uganda. I studied Uganda, I can teach it in primary, in secondary and higher. And it is helping me now. Every Muganda who is marrying in Banyankole, they have to look for me as a professional MC. So at times, migration came with challenges, but I can tell you some of the things that are making me succeed are the behaviors I learned there. I will tell you, you will go to a petrol station, you buy fuel from a Munyankole girl, she will show you that she will not even say thank you. But a Muganda, munange tusima bongerwa, oba nange tweyanze. In the due course, you end up going back. So I really ask you to always appreciate people. We have many petrol stations. Why do you think I have to drive from here and I go to a petrol station in Masaka? So my uncle gave me a Bievugo. Those Bievugo book was written by a late Benedicto Mubanjizi. He was a Munyankole man. We have recently lost a person who composed Catholic songs. You heard of him? He was called who? J.K. Kazora. So Benedicto Mubanjizi was good in a Bievugo. Now, before I continue, I want to show you, having been denied chances of going to school, I concentrated on learning a Bievugo, not knowing it will be also a source of employment. Just I was learning and enjoying how words were flowing. So in a Bievugo, there are rhymes, there is a lot of literature. So I want you to allow me to sample you on a Bievugo. You accept? Yes. Those who do not hear the language, just you say, hey. Because in music, we have danced songs that we don't know the meaning. Korokoto, Ausho, Pampa, Tikito, you enjoy. So even if you are going to enjoy by saying, yes. So I have more than 100, I'm going to just pick 2. So, one Chevugo is about, now I'm going to tell you, then you can choose for me. One Chevugo, president these days talks about farming and value addition. So in that I can recite for you a Chevugo called Efuka n'Obuhingi, which simply talks about farming. And if you learn those words, by the way, if you are Kwevuga, if you are doing a Chevugo, you cannot get time to hate your friend. If you are doing a Chevugo, you will not get time to go and do those bad gaming. If you are doing a Chevugo, you will not get time to hide here a knife and plan to go and kill someone. It is the same as Oburo. You know millet? Yes. By the way, let me tell you, I'm not bragging. There are words you are going to hear from Kachina that you cannot get on Google. There are things I know that are not on Google, but they are needed by the country or the world to do what? To know. More especially to the people who are coming from my region. Starting with millet. Do you know where millet came from? Now, millet was not in Uganda. Millet is an imported what? Cash crop. How did it come? So, millet came from Ethiopia. But it was like, by then, countries could not allow their products. You know, sovereignty. Yeah, there are products you may have and you don't want another country to access them. Okay? So, this is what Ugandans, to know that Ugandans are very wise, this is what they did. So, they took some people in Ethiopia, they made them mad. They pretended to be mad. You know how mad people have long hair and old hair. So they stayed there. Then after, when the hair grew, then they got millet seeds from Ethiopia. When they were in Ethiopia, they put the millet here, a lot, like I think 3 kilograms in someone's head. Then they gave him transport to come back to where? To Uganda. When she reached in Uganda, the hair was cut using these local machines. Then the hair was planted, and when it germinated, it came out with the millet that we eat now. Thank those people of early age. They were very wise, But you know, the coming of other people that I don't want to mention made us think that Africans were not wise. But I was going to talk about two importance of millet. Me have said I can be reaching here. Then I read this story. Now I started this one. It's upon you later to say, but do you know what? Millet has two main advantages. When it is only millet that when you are eating millet, for you, you eat someone's side, and even her eats from your. Are you aware of that? Do you know why? It's because of two reasons. One, it is science, and it is natural. When you want to pick kumogoburo kubega, wabego wawe, this is what happens. Ingaro zilizo mchikachaha na na. Now, omungaro ahaha takwata umuchuzi. Kunkana kukorachi? Yes, I'm trying to explain. This side, when you are eating the soup, cannot stick here, but it can stick here. So when you eat your side, that means this part is going to go into millet directly. So the soup will be going down in the millet. Omubiroche oburomuza kore chakore to kugirachi okorachi nubuza kushanka bwatota nubuza kumeltinga nubuza kushanka. You understand? So yet when you eat from your friend's side, a church nicho kwata mburo then umuchuzi makuru yo munsonda waza garika mimirundi mingi oburo bwa buguma buri stand wati oburo mbutero munga. Second reason why millet is eaten like that, it is a sign of unity. Nangwa waheza yue Tyson ondetele no mweso gwanje. So when I'm studying diplomacy and global studies at master's level, and I'm the only person amongst, because I think we are more than 500 that are studying that course, but I'm the only one who is already practicing it in this way. Other people are aiming at study it, they become ambassador and what. But what I'm studying is applied even in MCing, even in these things. You have seen me with ministers and what. Those people used to call those functions, they call all TVs. They be there, they pay them. But after 2 days, you find when there is no radio station or TV station that has given out news concerning what we have been studying. So they ended up, if we check, for instance, there was a video. Most of this video, for me, you will see when I'm having rappel. And for instance, one meeting where the ministry decided to give me an ambassador duty. In that meeting, they were paying us 300,000. From here, my car only can take like 600,000. But I used the 300,000, I used my money, I reached Kampala, I hired the cameraman, professional one, to take photos and videos. So as me, I was not presenting, I was just supplementing someone's comment. But when I was prepared. So after the function, all people had photos of the phone, and iPhones were not all that many. We did not have many good pictures. But me, because we had made a WhatsApp group, I had all photos of all people, and I was sharing them freely. But also in the video, my presentation, because I cannot hire those gadgets, then I failed to prepare my presentation. So at the end, they found I had prepared, I had made some research, my presentation was coming out well, but also I had evidence that I have that video. So then they went back. If you see that, you see that later on we shall see. If you can scroll and we see the photos, I can show you, me I have the photos of P7. P7, which is not really very easy. For you, you may have it, but your P7 is like 15 years from now, or 17. But me, I've spent almost 35 years after finishing P7. Yes. So here, this is 2001. Yeah, this is called Karisa, this one. Sorry, we don't have to judge people when they have already died, but this man used to steal students' properties. So when we finished primary, he was also promoted to stealing other things like Kapereka Abgonji. So unfortunately, he was killed. You can see this. Here he was in P7. You see, I've said this is September 2001. And when you follow my story, it is when I finished P7. And this was not a phone, it was a calculator, but people were paying me money to call. You know how you press on a button, then it said, I say, speak, your mom is speaking to you. So, somehow I was taking their money, but in a joking way. Okay, the photos, we shall go back. You remove. You first ignore. Now I'm going to Kwevuga. So I've told you two sides. I mean, Akaro. In negotiation, we study when people have disagreements. It is a role of a negotiator to call these people and mediate them. So we study that, but even if they are wars, they are serious, or they are negotiations, Apple wants to buy maybe Airtel, they have to bring a very professional person to negotiate in that. How am I using that negotiation that I study? How is it helping the Mbalala people? You had when we had a problem of Ortindo Wakatete. So almost they were my creeps that we were fighting for that. But we failed everything until when I went to His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. How did I achieve that? I was hired as an MC at Deputy Speaker's function in Mutom. But when I reached there, they said, Munyai will speak, entertain, then when President comes, that Honorable MP will take over, and for me, I go. I said, man, respect us. For you cannot make these people stay here for this long. Now, they have paid me. For you, they did not pay you. For you are going to campaign, me, I'm having here people. Now, my negotiation is like this. When the president comes, you give me 5 minutes. I finish up, I introduce myself. I also want to be known. I want also to have Gambano. So there were 2 MPs. One rejected, another one agreed. The one who rejected, I said, you will not go back in parliament. And she was defeated. What happened later, when president came, they thought I would make jokes. But may I tell you, even some of the reasons I could say, let me leave some media houses, time came that I could not now be there to make people laugh only. When other people are dying, when other people need our voices, I said, unless you give me more programs or other mature programs, but a writer said you cannot laugh 24/7. Okay? So, now, that is first negotiation. So when I spoke to President, I immediately said, President, in our family, in the whole clan, a person in our clan who was known was called late Iwasi Makaru. He was former chairman LC5. So Iwasi Makaru, nazarwa n'omukikura kuzara tata. So I said, Numizukuru Makaru, I'm a comedian, I was an MC here, but that is not the case. But Mbalala people, we are suffering. We have spent 3 months without businesses because our bridge was disrupted and the district council closed it, and I mean, we have nothing to do. This is my point. But as I was just addressing that one issue, the other woman was like, oh, if you have not gone back to school, you would be intimidated, I wouldn't speak. You understand? But there, I have that confidence that there is something I'm bigger than that MP. He should not intimidate me. But also I have people to represent. Representing people does not really need you to be in parliament. So I spoke, I kept quiet. And in fact, I started speaking when President was still looking even where to sit. But lucky enough, when Speaker was addressing President, he said, President Museveni, kachai chintu chiyagamba nichi namazima abantu nibafa, people are dying because they don't want to eat, people have shifted, people what? It was from that. that president signed, and in less than a month, that bridge was made. If you go to Google and you search Kachina or Tindo Wakatete, Deputy Speaker Museveni, you see that clip. But even if you put Katete Bridge, Kachina, they will bring you all those clips I did. Recently, I advocated for a transformer. We suffered for 2 months. I met Umeme when it was still Umeme. Do you know Umeme in full? UMEME in Nyankore, Uganda, Mutunge Chitangara. That's when Umeme was on. But immediately when the power goes off, Umeme in full becomes Uganda, Mufechirma. That is Umeme. So immediately I use the negotiation. No, you use mature means to make sure you are. But you find like 80% of the shops are closed. Then I went ahead. These other 20% of the shops which are open, there was nobody doing what? Buying. Because I mean, things are not in the fridge. Those people could not get a way to go and shop other products. So the business was down. So I addressed it in a mature way. I was given a transformer. Then now after a year, we found that transformer could accommodate only like few people, and the city is developing. So I now went back to Umeme. I found when the manager, of course Umeme changed to UECDL. Then he said, I left, but I have a new manager. He gave me the number. I talked to manager in a mature way. I was like, man, there is what we call induction in business. You were not inducted to know Mbarara City stops where. So you are not aware, I'm not blaming you, but you are not aware that there are some places that have been off for some time. I spoke in a mature way. Then I said, this part we have talked, allow me to broadcast it. Because at times when you go and tell your boss, they may not also give you power, not knowing what is on the ground. They brought a transformer past where they are supposed to take it, drove the car, they brought the transformer in my home at Kachina Media. They handed over the transformer to me, then we took it the place. Amanaga Media, but amateur media. Muntero Munga. I was talking about negotiation. But also, when we went to Dar es Salaam, meeting UNICEF, Global Fund, PEPFAR, World Health Organization, it was my point, only China, it was my point that I told World Health Organization, Global Fund, PEPFAR, and all other organizations that were there to start thinking of how they can start marketing on social media. They used to only market on what? On mainstream media. I told them that the world is changing where people no longer have time to sit on screens. A very few people, even the big TVs we have in Uganda that we are proud of them, you will find that a story about them you will see a story, for instance, of NBS, but on NBS social media what? Handles. Because we are all here, as I'm speaking, some people can be on phone and see what is training. Yes, it is a traditional media. They have to be there. We respect them, but the world is changing.
As the moderator said, you are going to enjoy Kasavu Kashi? Yes. So my name is Valentine, Muhereza, Kachina.
Abamaba takulyanya manu bagireka ko nkosanga bahuta mu mucu okuturya harimo baziza ko kari muna nabaka kari muno sangana nabati ninga bacece. Am I boring you? No. Good. Twasuma twaza kwevuga mwena we. And okwevuga when you are kwevugaringa. And people are saying, yeah. Then like, they speak to one another, they say, let us this time not repeat. They don't reply at once. You say, man, away. They keep quiet. You forget everything that you have here. Okwevuga is like something jumps on you. Tugende? Murarefunda kagambira muizinga nebanzire katabiro rwanga nerufutane kanizo bwakuneto moro bwajya kwire gumunjiri ibega nimbega. Nga you don't have mararo. Mujengwe. Nkwate kinyamsumbye yangu menyondo yambwe ne kazuri yazaro mujede bense nishaka cyapa kibarenga hize. Ijembere ryashira ryo n'umushagwa ryo rikazera ne mindi ya gikare tuyine yakatono ryagonyoro mawerge bengo nasiba ninkongota nsaba yise bayegendire. Rero mujunguranga karwa ry'inkano wagiziro mwiro mukamba kabumwira kargabura yatanga sugonya na cumuruzo omuhindi yagura ryo mufuki yabiregura bamu ege kabaransi wo muri rihanga. Ubita kabyiti nyamuzira turera katonsi cyangwa guteka kaberere nyakutujyanya nkencuke ndiyavuga nefukanje rugambara ndyo nyarukashe gabugingo nempwera. Ejungu yefukanje mwitaka rumeteze musinzo kazi gusoza ekoroza amaganira sasa yufomu utabire eshubize stare kasemera zyo munzinga omundi yo nantemera niko munwani bukombeza. Ukirengwe hati yijyo nyirwa kabeto hembe nekijanje cyumutaba yingisho cyane betanje muhoro nyefuka byayingana nido owabikire mikono akagibika nabandi mbatamera obwembroze kiteme zagaruka imbando rw'amasinde gatunuke kukora namebega nkaranze mwigo nareba nisumwasumwa natumekaze kibizi cyasanga habira kayunga kura hata bagenge batsinjiye tukabashega bona bagenda bakunira ningo kwata kungu kwatangira chance furi yo bani banditse sasa ya turemshenga yisumye tonyera kura rero mjirangwe inyonyosi kimara ikutiraza ishimgo nemto twarvanze mutana mu nemto twaro kwata makutobia mjirangwe kumura rero mwenda kunguza zama bana bahura n'ibintu byatakaza kasichakarante beba hasa mtanine tereka kigenda kabanyarwanda kabisobwe rwatse kisama mu ndete kiriko kugenda mazitama rogori kunga naona ngwa kukune koretere cyara bakigutegira bakitu byote mune mponja bamasaza bene gakwana kigaba kigomba kumbura mucerirwe ngambara kanda nicyana urorero mbyengwe nari tujogere ngwe ngambara kanda nicyana byene politika byesirite. Because of your uniqueness, please be in P7 but be our head board. Even if you scroll this book in photos and imagine how did I get photos of 19 what? starting from 97 and what? Scroll down and I see. Yeah. Down. Again over. Anyway, you remove. But I have a photo when I was in P7 and we were discussing a topic and it was written here, Valentine Muhereza HP. I still have that photo. So, I finished my P7 and remember I was studying Monday, then Tuesday I go in. Then Wednesday I come to school, then Thursday I take them into market. Then Friday I study in entire primary. So I could not perform like others. But fortunately, in our school could always be in first grade, so it was only our year that we got first grade, and some people thought it was mine. And me, I got 14, I came in the second super grade, which was enough for me. Then I joined the Karamba ESS. But when I was still in primary, I met Honorable Winnie Byanyima. Winnie Byanyima was an MP in Mbarara. So, because I was studying, then this time I could not study, then I knew a Bievugo, so they took me to Gombora where they were functions, so they said I Bievuga for her. Then I Bievuga in Unyango, then she called me, are you studying? I said, I'm studying, but I'm suffering a lot. Okay, can you come, I take you, you study from any school you want. But those days they had told us that when someone says that they want to kidnap you, say, nah. So I refused. Then I went, when I finished primary, my dad forced me to marry. Yes, because I had already constructed the house. Then we started another war. Then I refused, I went to Karamba ESS, I joined the senior one. From there I was also continuing with my business, but also I became a cameraman. I became a cameraman when I was still in primary. That's why I'm able to get my photos. So in secondary I was a cameraman. Then I became an artist. I made a studio for taking pictures.
Then I was given a contract to take passports in different schools. Then later I became head boy, and when I became head boy, our director contested on LOC 3, so he became chairman LOC 3. And because I was old, remember we started with people who came from UVE. So some were young, and for me I was old. So when he left, he said, I want a student who has been here and who is behaving well. So somehow, though I was a student, but I became like the assistant director. When I'm a student, I said I need an office. We constructed an office of volleyball. I could go and assemble and chase people for school fees. So I finished, and then, but they called me Kachina in primary when I was entertainment prefect. They could bring our China, then I take them to sample and what. Then as they were doing what they are going to perform tomorrow, I was like, hey, how do you make sugar? So when they depart, then I look for these minor schools that they were ignoring. I say we are bringing our China. Because I was tiny and told, they said, Naka China. So that's how the name came. So I went, I finished O level in 2005. I got 11. So I got 31. Then now I became a serious photographer with a big camera, Pentax. But as I was taking my hands in Kampala, my brother was staying in Muhereza. So we could give the hotel people in Osega, Chendera, what. Then they said, give us 3 days. As I was staying there waiting for my money, I could go in Karioko. There was a bar called C&C. It was from then that I started seeing men dressing like women, putting up dresses. Given. So I just liked them how they were miming these Kafero songs, Sebata and what. I just loved it and I kept quiet. Now, that was between 2000, 2002, what. But now when I finished senior 4, 2005, 2006 I stayed at school because I've said I was almost like a director. So I could, moving in preps and you were like this, you are. So 2006 I came to buy someone in Hussein, but I came with my camera. And I found when camera had marketing and all. So I never went back, but I had applied to become a plumber. I had my papers, but I said, that's okay. So as I was there 2017, that's when Judith Babili introduced a song called Vera Nami. Then David Luther introduced a song called Kapapa. So, because I was a photographer in the party, here we shall see what Franklin said. Franklin said that if you want to die, if you want that when you die, you will be forgotten, do 2 things. If you don't want to die, if you don't want to be forgotten when you die, either do something that will be spoken out or write something that will be read. Yeah. So now, and we shall see that in talent you don't need capital. No, in talent you don't need capital. So when those 2 songs came, I went to Paradise Rugonji. I had my girlfriends, not girl lover, my friends who were girls. I asked for dresses. Then I went to someone who mechanical way guy. He gave me this chidanga. I went in a party. Then they said, we are hiring you 30,000 for photos and to entertain us. So I started miming Vera Nami, then Kapapa. It was from there slowly by slowly that I became now a comedian and started somehow ignoring taking photos. In 2008, I bought a motorcycle. Then I could go to Shane to greet on radio. It was from there that I said something which was natural but funny, and the radio recorded it, and it made me got employed. So I could greet even people who died. So the talent was inside, but I didn't know. So I started in So now from there I read news. So the news was like, Reverend Abgari Wakakomuru Kunji, Ogane Nagita Bagore, Umgorum Charake Changa, when they got to Tom Chachi, whatever Chiverio, Vaneta Reverend Bakuna Menian as a Gitava Gorava, when Umgorum Chava, like Manogaka Gambi, or you This Sagitanum Sijan, this Sagitanum Sijan, John, Ugumani Mukunda, Umbugiga, Umugo, no, Reverend John working So they added those laughs. So even if I could not come to breathe, they would pray it as a sweeper. Then later on, Mr. Jordan, rest in peace, one of the directors said, who is that person that comes in the radio? And people laugh, they said he's called Kachina, puts on dresses. He said, does he pay? Because we are paying 2,000 a week. He said he pays. Now if he comes, don't charge him. When they told me, I shifted from Bugonji and rented it near radio. You have to be an opportunity. Upon your what? Opportunity. So now they send minus news and the brand. Every program you have the right to come without knocking, speak your nonsense and go. So every time I would be at station, then I also wait for someone who wants to go for a short call, then I sit there. Can I drag the song? Dragging a song, you people, you are just here dragging, doing everything on the internet. Just learning to drag a song from a computer to a player. It took me like, I think, 2 months. So that's how I started earning 80. They were paying me 80,000 for like 3 years. But every time the radio goes to the village, people were eager to see me than the people they pay high. So it was from there we started doing some jokes and what. Then later on, someone told me in some years to come, there are going to be a TV called TV West, which is going to be located in Western region. God helped me, then I said, let me start doing things. Maybe if a TV starts, they can hire me. So I went in Rukondo, I met Madame Kereya, rest in peace. So when they were starting, the first 4 people they thought, Kachina was among them. So we had Utawa, Wambunionyo, Kachina, and Speed. So when they called us, they said, we want, explaining something that you could not understand. We want to start a TV, but we want you to do jokes. So we wanted to get our names and form something like a short form we failed because we found when we didn't have voice. So we have Speed Route, our Wambunionyo, Kachina, we failed. So we said we are naming our group TV West Artist Group. In short, that is Twatch. That's how the name Twatch came from. So I started working on TV, but staying in Ushen. Then later on, in 2011, I was the first person to be hired by Minister, now the Minister of Health, Dr. Chris Wanyomus. So he took me to Kanu. They were paying me 600,000 per day for 30 days. But after 1 week, I felt I could not speak, so I came back and took all musicians, Nagundogu, Mera Simwe, Peace Cham Kongwire, Simani, almost Lady Diana we stayed in Kanu for 1 month. But me, I was getting 600. Then later, we got another person who was contesting, then for her, she was giving me 300. But remember, one was an MP for this week, another one for constituency. So that struggle to make sure you can perform here. I had a car, but you park it, then you assume as if you are around, then you get a motorcycle. So through that way, we learned how to hustle. Did you study about Napoleon, those who did history? Yes, Napoleon said that a man should sleep for 2 hours, a woman 4 hours, and a fool 8 hours. Yeah, of course, amongst the causes of his downfall, lack of sleeping was also there. But man, for us who have studied how to hustle, okay? So, TV started, we worked. Now I got 600 per day for almost 30 days. We had no mobile money. If for you think mobile money was there. So I could get like after 7 days, I get my money, I come back into Rusheni. So after the campaign, he won, I got my money, I bought a plot in Rusheni. You want to make survey why Maddox Sematimba, in all his songs, he never made a video. he has just made a video of Namagembe, but it was forced, and also he sponsored him. He says, according to his belief, that when you buy this suit, you'll be in a video. When it gets old, your song will also get. And in actual sense, for instance, we had these new types of clothes of a nick. There is a type of clothes which was very common. Was it Jawad? Gucci. Gucci. Every artist could need Gucci. But when the clothes get old, when you see a song, someone will think it is also old. That happens also there. So we say, you yourself, how you treat yourself is your personal branding. If you are, there are people, I will give you an example, I want to mention, there are people who have been given positions in Uganda because of abusing other people. That is his or her personal what? Blaming. That's how she wants the public to know her. There are people who have long hair, that if he cuts that hair, people will hate him. Okay? So you yourself, and don't first say, well, let me first finish, then if I want to contest, then I start giving people kajambo. No. People can know here you are pretending and here you are serious. Now, like myself, what did I do? One of the things that improved me. By the way, I've said they can hire me at 4 M, but remember we still have MCs of 500. We still have MCs for free. You understand? What I did, I don't booze. Yes. I started with Smirnoff, I ended on Guinness, and in 2016, I went in a comedy store, so I was poisoned. And they gave me a poison that kills in 2 hours. Why? I'm not quite sure. But how did it come? So I was taking Guinness. By then we were walking alone. If we go in a bus, I go in the studio, in there, comedy store, I work, I get a board, I go back on the bus, then I come back. I was working on Link FM here. So I found a celebrity called Don Nasa. You ever heard of that man? Yes. So that Don Nasa used to stay with him. I stayed with him when he was young for more than 6 months, 6 years. Then when he became rich in Kampala, so when I found him in the community store, he said, oh, my brother, they give you. I said, me, that beer I don't take, I take Guinness. So they said, they give you 6 plus soda, Coca, so I used to punch. So when I went for a short call, in the first glass, because maybe someone would say maybe he was drunk, no, I used to take more than 10. But now in the first one, when I went for short call, I came back, and we were already seated in the comedy store, but they had not seen me. So in less than 20 minutes, when they called me on stage, and all people put like cameras up they have done here, I could not stand. I'm trying to stand, I'm falling. People were like, yo. They think it is a technique. Then later I tried, I reached on stage, I could not speak. My tongue was very heavy. I tried, of course, after some time people started realizing, made them drunk. Then eventually, they put me out of stage. They paid me my balance. Now I had a friend, he was not my friend by then, but a follower called Dr. Alo. He had called me in the morning that, Banange, you don't usually come to Kampala, I've heard you come to comedy store. When you finish performing, I want to greet you. So as I went out, they paid me my balance. As I was greeting him, calling a boda taking me to bus, I started vomiting. Serious vomiting. So as a doctor, immediately he saw there are chances, there are signs of poison. So he got to a border, they hired somewhere, I don't know. Then those people who had given me poison, they followed him. They started buying everyone border, want to make sure they can take me and do what they wanted. So for him, he called other doctors, they brought medicine. In the morning, I had taken like 20 liters of water. This I was like, in one budget, sting. Works. So I could not move. So what they did, they could hold me like this, and another one, then they took me to a hotel. They took me in the bus. I think, I'm falling here. They asked, do you have money so that you can push it to Mara? I said, yes. I paid one shot here, another one here. We reached Imbara, I got a special, they took me to Kateko. It took me 3 months to settle. Now I said one, it is because I had a team. When you see these people having security, they say they brag, they want, but you cannot work alone, and you have to accept that in this world, bad people are still there. 2, I said if it was not beer, I wouldn't have been affected like that. But 3, I found if you have a party tomorrow and you drink today, you booze today, even if you don't booze tomorrow, you want to be fresh. Okay? And when you are speaking to people, as you speak to them, they can feel you have some beers. So from there you are losing. That is 1. 2, to those who are still boozing and you are a public speaker, by the way, most of us all are public speakers. Because at times you are in class, you have team members, maybe at church you are in choir, somewhere you will find everyone is a speaker. So to those who are still boozing, I'm giving you a medicine. You go and look for what we call a mouthwash. I don't know how to pronounce the name of it, and I'm not marketing it because I don't know even the people who make it. But if you use mouthwash, it will try to make sure your mouth has a nice scent. But 3, I don't eat in the party. Even if you have brought a chef from Kampala, I don't, for 7 reasons. 1, imagine I'm like this. You can't eat food and you enjoy it. Because these crosses have hired them. Now someone will say, what are you doing? So there is a way you are not free. But 2, some people at the dining, when they see Kachina for them, they are excited. So he ends up giving you more food. And as they give you more food, there are people who were eager to see him. They are like, hey, guy, yeah. From there you can lose a client. Then 3, as people are running for you, you have your food. Someone is likely to pour food on you. Now, if you have just started, you don't have a car. Maybe you have not come with a spare part. That means you are losing. Then 4, when they take you to dining, people are eager to see you when you are performing. Every time you stay there for long, people start seeing the negatives on you. Maybe a cheap watch, maybe you was talking to have some holes, maybe you are speaking and maybe you are abusing people on phone. So people are supposed to see you performing, or you stay with them for less time so that you don't expose your weakness. Okay? Then, number 5, we have what we call food poison. Not the poison they gave me. This food poison. You can eat mchere. They are saying you are the one to say cut, KK, 67. You want to go for wrong course. What are you going to do? But 7, if you are full, Borienyo, to sobra kumimisa, to kanuza. For you may say Jagaren Koko. But 9, we have seen where some service providers go at dining and they chase them. Have you seen that? We paid you, please don't go online on dining. Remember my Kachina media team are putting on t-shirt. So people are seeing how you are being chased. That is embarrassment. Yet they hired you. So with those, and another thing, you have started eating, but they are calling you. Ajat Aish, they are calling you. Kat MC Munanga jango tugambira abali dedda baveyo mu dining. You had started eating. Now, if you leave your food, that means they may poison you. But if you go with your food, then there is no way you are going, because ethically you are not supposed to speak when you are eating. And me, when I'm speaking to you on the phone and I feel you are eating, I just cut you off. Yes. Those are ethics that some of the things that I'm telling you will help you. You have been eating in the party, there was those. Maybe no gamba, okay, I'm giving my target to myself, I will eat in the party only this year. Another thing related to that, stop chewing. I'm not against company. Okay, you chew, but in a different way. Otherwise, they are going to put me in court. What is the problem? When I see someone chew, I think about 5 things, and they are all negative. You know them? 1, if you see someone chewing, it means he took some beers, he doesn't want the beer to smell. That is 1. 2, if you see someone in the morning chewing, it means maybe there is a business he does, maybe in Kasese, maybe he came in a bus, he has not gotten time to refresh him or herself. So you are trying to show us that, by the way, me, I'm not fresh. Yeah. That is the second thing. 3, in communication, if you are chewing, you can't stick out words, and they come out well. Don't. And if you are not sure of your dental and what, please first to do one thing. Then also stop the habit of having a toothpaste on the to speak. When you are walking, you are in class, you see someone with a toothpick in the class. You are showing that you are still picking some meat and what. Now there is a comment, but it is a fact. I'm going to have a girlfriend. Susan. Susan ibintu chenana byona birukana ni kiro Susan kamubache kiro Susan ebishogo mbichainama ekirungi taraza ari bombwire bwami akaza bombwire bwa Museve ningamba Museve konkamwe na Susan ainama arikiri ainepra esente za musomisa kukikahisha kazi yo maja ezindi bakazi yo kwingomwa nabo bakabatanga no kustiko bana muzungu bakweta pa kureba mu yamusuza bani watakunda suza nono ndakuterete extra nagama kwa kaza rwo Museve ndikagambire ko kwani wajireba I can be in a party and I do all those things only abantu basheke bampere the same. So do you think for you are not talented to an extent of being studying, but also identifying 1, 2 things that you can do? I want to tell you, I don't know Ronald. That Ronald on the profile is small. No, if you want to sing, but in your family there is no talent, you're going to do 2 things. You get a pen and a paper, you write 2 letters, N and A. I'm going to show you how you can start doing hits and they play them on capital and national TVs. So I'm going to give you 10 songs that the composer, the singer used 2 letters only, N and A. Do you know those songs? One of them is saying na 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 na. So can you fail that? Second song is na 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 na. Sure. Na 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 na. You go to studio, you make a video. The third one will say na 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 na. So for you, if you are coming from where? Okay, master. You can say mama. Ta 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 ta. And you give out some songs. So what I was saying, but with comedians, it is a different thing. Now you see this. When an artist comes on stage, a musician, the audience wants him to play the song that they know. People don't want an artist to come here and start introducing his new songs. They want the songs they know. But for the comedian, they want you to speak something they have never heard you speaking. Are you seeing the challenge? You have to be very composed, very researchful. Yes, it is talent, but if I'm going to address lawyers, I look for law. For instance, in international law, we have a law. In diplomacy and global studies, you study international law. But in international law, there is a statement. You go to Google. I usually say it, they laugh, they say, China, you are guessing and what. So in international law, we are using this statement that it is helping me, for me, not to betray my people, my client. So in law, they say, pacta santa savanda. Pacta santa savanda. When you search it, it is in Latin. When you search pacta santa savanda, it is a law which in English means that agreements must be fulfilled. Pacta santa savanda, that agreements must be fulfilled. When you follow that law, you want to betray people, you want to come early, you want, yes, it's here. Pacta santa savanda. Yes, pacta santa savanda. Foundation that maximum translate to agreements must be kept. Ugumana mutero munga ugumana. China media. This boy is called Given. Given is, he did sciences. He seems to be like China, but he's very old. I don't know why. He just went on socials and looked for me, saying, if you can employ me. I said, because may I give a chance. You don't know. If you have to give people a chance to do. So he came, I did not ask papers. I said, what can you do? He told me, but mostly he's good in these things of opening the website, of doing what. He's like very, very, very expert in the way I cannot explain. But of course, you can be expert than him, but he is also good and we work with him under the China media. So you clap for him, he's going to a lot. So, Pacta Santa Savanda, everything I'm doing, I'm saying, if someone, an organization in Kabad have hired me, they call me, are you free on Friday? I say yes. They pay me their 4 million over 3. Why do I really need later to say, you see, I later got an exam, what? So I say no, Pacta Santa Savanda. Agreement must be kept. Formal agreement and what we call verbal agreement. Pacta Santa Savanda. Agreement must be, because they used it in negotiation, in Vienna settlement, in what. But we want to see how to transform what we study and we put them in real life. Okay? For instance, people usually say, so much how is it going to help me? Yes, we studied many things that the whites brought them to make sure we don't go beyond where we have reached. But there are things we have studied that can help us, but we don't know them. For instance, me have said I'm an actor. I was studying arts. Now, Napoleon, they say Napoleon was a product of luck. Then they say discuss. So they bring ideas which show that Napoleon really, it wasn't his wish. He did not plan for it. Then we later see how his hard working helped him. Now, of course, for instance, when they were about to give birth to him, that place was annexed and it went to France, so he became a French and what, then we see. But he was hardworking. Napoleon, every break time, other people as they go for break, for him, he could use his money and he gives it to a lecturer. But please, as people go for class, for breakfast, can you use this money and you teach me what we are going to study tomorrow? Now imagine someone who would also want to buy pancakes. He says, please, sacrifice 30 minutes and you teach me what we are going to study tomorrow. That is how ambitious he was. But also we saw, because he was too wise, one time he asked for leave and he overstayed and they chased him. But they later found that what he was doing, nobody can do it. So for us we say, what do you do that other people cannot do it? Let me tell you, if someone wants a musician and he's not there, they have many choices. Yes. But if someone wants Kachai, I have someone called Vaseline in Shaka supermarket. He wanted to wait on 30 years. August. Then on that day we had a Chimihi, which I already was. I said, I want to be there. He said, when are you there? I said, I'm available on the 3rd before. So he changed it to the party dates. And many other people, they are doing it. I have reached the next stage. Is there anyone who has seen me giving people 11 million recently? Yes? Yes. So I have a Mugiga, he trusted me. I'm now a country coordinator, so he gave me Wampara Football Club, asked me to be their Gambano, to make sure I talk to the man, he sponsors them. They thought he would give them like 1 M. So they give me 11 million and I handed it over to them. And the man has still money. Now, how are you benefiting from that money? He's saying now, 1, if you were a girl but you can do football, get ready. A girl but football. 2, if you were a girl you can do boxing. That is 2. 3, if for him he's saying they want to make sure they reduce the number of youths who are going abroad to work. So they are coming up with WAMP's financial services, which is going to be giving people money, and through me, because for him he will never be in camera. So he says, no, I don't know what is there for but now that win. So he says they are for him he will never go in camera. So he says for them they want to give you money. They don't want you want to save your land, but also president is speaking against land fragmentation. So we are saying, if you have a land, can we give you money? You develop it, you get money, and you give us our money back without interest. So the youth I know at now, they feel most of them want to go abroad. But abroad, 1, you sell your land of 20 million, you go there, work for 6 months, you come back, you buy a plot of 6 million, then you go back, you get money, you build there. Then when you build there, they are giving you 80,000 per month. You will never recover the money you injected. But also, people are being treated as slaves abroad. Okay? Yes. People are being mistreated a lot. So that's what we are coming out. So as I'm here, I'm a country director, so before, a country coordinator. So before you think about laughing with me, before what? You first ask yourself, what do companies do in China that maybe I have not discovered? Okay? I can confirm to you that I don't usually address few people. Are you aware? If you check here, I usually address many people. But why? 1, if I had not gone back to school, I would be minding about the big audience. But I told you it is not about the big audience. Okay? So I respected it, but also when they told me about different institutions, I said, let me come, you never know. Maybe I can touch on 5 people. They change their lives. It is possible. So don't just see me as someone who did arts. Don't see me as someone who doesn't have good accent, but see where I can take you. Okay? You pray that story.
Okay, now moving over to updates from the Ankole Cup. Prominent businessman, commonly known as Uncle T, has donated 11 million Ugandan shillings to Rampara District Football Team in a major boost of grassroots football and youth sports development ahead of the Ankole Cup 2026. The financial support comes at a crucial time as many district teams are faced with funding challenges, strengthening Rampara's preparations for the regional tournament. The donation was officially handed over to Rugando, Rampara district by Valentine Muhereza, popularly known as Kachina, the country coordinator of RAMP's group of companies on behalf of Tusime. Muhereza commended Ankoti for his continued commitment to community development and youth empowerment through sport. He noted that investing in sports is one of the most effective ways to keep young people engaged in positive activities while creating opportunities for talent development and professional careers. He reaffirmed his commitment to supporting sports in the region.
We are supporting sports for almost like more 10 reasons. One, when we have sports, we reduce on crime rate because the youth are concentrated on practicing, on training and playing, which limits their time to go for making crimes, fighting, and doing those other unnecessary behaviors. But also too, we can talk about how sports can reduce cigarette smoking. Sports such as football can also reduce bad betting. Then also sports promotes health, that if you are playing football, it is very easy for you to fight and prevent diseases like hypertension, pressure and other related diseases. But also we are supporting sports because it is a source of income. Many people get jobs starting from referees, coaches, then even fans when they are moving from playground to playground, they use borders. Then the vendors bring their food. Then when they are going, for instance, to share accommodation, people have to sleep. But finally, we say, don't let this small money. It is money, but it is small. But don't let this 11 million divide you. Don't let this money divide maybe between players and the committee, maybe between district and football, maybe between, please stay one, because even where that money has come from, we still have, we feel there is more money that is coming in case we stay focused. Then lastly,
so that is enough. So, you know how we struggle even to go on LC1 committee. You know how it is a struggle. But me, I can show you here when they are introducing me to Chief Justice, when I'm heading the Department of Marketing in Inspire Coffee, and you start seeing how can we be more of help to China. Yeah, you see here, you imagine see here, we are in Dar es Salaam, I'm here. So, and I spoke to different people. Let me tell you, I was in Dar es Salaam. Mr. Ronald talked, which, as we said, we talk also about the challenges we face. Now, when we reached in Dar es Salaam, I was representing Uganda in other 15, with other 15 countries. But remember, I don't have any title. I'm not a doctor. I don't head TASO. I'm not sick. By the way, people started saying, how can you be an ambassador of TB, of HIV when you are not sick? But I paid attention to study these things, to make sure I contribute to my people. People who come on Kachina media to laugh should also get another package. Okay? So when I reached there, they now chose some countries and other head of states, head of department, like head of TASO, head of Uganda Health Commission, let's say that. So we made some like 20 people, then they said they give you a topic, you discuss about it. But in that topic, in 20 people, they wanted one person to represent. So because me, I was not known, I did not have any title, I was not chosen. But I gave my comment. I said, please, as you express the views, can you also speak about my comment? He said, yes. When he reached there, he jumped to my comment. And remember, TV West was waiting for my story because I worked with them, Radio West the same, and other people I had told I went abroad. So I said, now, yes, they have paid me. What will I show, which will show that really it was health or I participated? So the chances were ignored. Until when a Namibia person presented, then they say any supplement. Now I put up my arm. As they gave me a chance, I just a little bit talked about what he was speaking, then I switched on to what I wanted to talk there. But if you reach, you can say, okay, this one can help me. This one, maybe I'm also building my YouTube channel or my company. I've copied this. Maybe Kachina can do this and this, but this one I'm doing. Let him guide me. Or you can say, Kachina, this that you are media, but you are lacking this and this. You come also. You also help me. So in one way or the other, please come and visit us. We shall welcome you. Those who want to practice something, for now, I won't be charging you.
Thank you so much for such a helping hand, because really this is what we need at this age. Any other question? Yes, I'm waiting. 1, 2. Any other question? 5. I had a third one. I think these 4 are enough. Any other?
Okay.
Yes,
That's 4 enough.
Yes. Yeah. So wait, I had the microphone.
Thank you. I take this opportunity. Thank you all, the management of the E, and again to welcome Mr. Kachina, and I take this honor to welcome his words. My name is Atwine Albert, offering Bachelor's of Mass Communication and Journalism at the University of St. John's. I come from Oshane. I started following this man when he was still in Oshane, performing the song called the Nkokora with the Captain Eman Sakaltama at the BFM radio with this woman MP called the Career Sim. So this man and Mugabe, Robert Pachebes, they are the ones who forced me to join journalism, and I'm glad to have you. Thank you.
Cavendish, you can come over. You can.
I'm telling universities, but there is no Victoria because it is in Kampala. But have you had me fearing to mention other universities because I'm speaking out of that? Because you want to work in one place. You are working at Must, you will be employed at Bishop Swart. I'm working at Victoria University, but also PSU told me. But also, recently I was at MOOBS. By the way, Chambogo, those who do tourism, they gave them an exam, and another one of is hospitality and what. So they came to me through a girl called Bridget, who was connected by Tendo Beke, to go and I train them how they do introduction and giveaway. I went there on my fuel, imagine from here to Kampala. Then I told them, and I was told they all passed. So from Victoria to Chambogo, I show you that we really need each other, and I explained to my boss, and even Muganga, Professor Muganga, you see him in other universities teaching them AI. So what does it show? Don't hate your neighbor because of politics, because of money, what, because of a religion. We are one, and we need to be one. Thank you.
Hello, Valentine, and my fellow visionaries. I'm so sorry to use this word, but have you heard from grass to grace? Yeah. According to our method today, I think it is from grace to grace. Yes. It has not offended you, but it is really great. You know the garage, it's always so oily and very dark. I'm actually shaking, but
don't shake.
I think I have the energy to speak. So we often hear about the massive global digital economy, but it's rare to meet someone who truly knows the exact roadmap of how to build an empire from scratch within it. Today, we are incredibly privileged to host an extraordinary visionary who has done exactly that. Mr. Kachina, thank you so much. Yeah, personally, I've gotten a chance to meet some of the digital entrepreneurs. I've met the Dr. Zania, I've met Isabella, founder IDRC. But their journey is a bit different, totally different from his, and he has inspired me a lot. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Now you said you had fear. Somehow you were started fearing. But even in diplomacy and global studies, we study how to control such a fear. Or how you know prompt speech. If you are picked to speak when you are not prepared, there is a solution for that, and that trick can help a lot of us. So first and foremost, if they call you when you are not ready, you can use other people's words that have been spoken. But two, you can do insultation. Thank you so much, the moderator. Thank you. After you finish 4 of them, the fear is going. But also you can keep quiet. If you say, for instance, must. Everyone who was busy in the phone, he wants to say what has happened. Microphones are then as you compose. So I all have really limited, I don't know. But if we sit, you can find that we will be discovered and we shall achieve together. Thank you.
We are practicing what they are doing, guys. So we have 2 more. Oh.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I really want to thank everyone for your patience from morning, and you stayed. No one has left. We are really humble that you have stayed. And another thing maybe pleased to say is that China came to our village. I think it was a big function. One of the biggest, the richest man in our village had organized the function. I didn't attend.
Is that richest man?
You came to give us, I was still playing, man. I didn't attend the function, but branding, everybody in a village kept saying, man, came to China. He wore skirts, that song of Kappa, the one you performed. The branding, that's that even a person who has not gone there, the picture you have displayed really gave more love than this, and I also wanted to see what does Kachai do? How does he look like? How does he do things? I was so inspired, though I did not attend the function. So that portrays the power of branding. How have you branded yourself? Even when the person has not seen you, by just uttering someone uttering your name, they get motivated. Yeah, I had someone who this. They feel like, yeah, they want to know you because how people are talking about you, that discipline, how you handle yourself in public. That's what really I got about him coming to our village and that level of branding. Now I'm seeing you here, I feel like I will be so proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aisha.
As we are eating.
Good evening, I was attending some certain function and they told me that if at least you have nothing to say, stand up and say it. So I just came to say my name so that you can all know me and you can also know me.
What is your name again?
My name is Almwesika. But then I have one challenge. Me, I don't know if they have a talent. I'm afraid to discover my
I think he's a comment and a question, right?
There is electricity in what? Meeting other people. So we discovered that. But for me, I would even go in Kasasuro in what?